Inside Graceland, here's 𝐿𝐻𝐕𝐄𝐑𝐍𝐻𝐿.
So I am delighted, thrilled, just so unbelievably happy to have a legitimate movie star in the studio for this episode. A Golden Globe winner. Not only that, she's actually going to go on her EGOT quest. And for those of you who are not in the know, those are the very few people who've won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. And as anybody who has Amazon Prime, which I think is pretty much everybody, knows, this actress just destroyed it with the best new limited series on any streaming service, Daisy Jones and the Six. And obviously this is somebody who has the keys to the mansion. And I'm talking about the one and the only Lesley Keough. Lesley, thank you so much for doing this small, measly, little thing that I do once a month on Sirius. How are you today?
I'm well, and thank you for such a impressive introduction.
You've earned it, worth it. Really just, I loved the show personally, and at the same time, when you did the piece where, in the parts that you were older, I saw so much of your mother and it was tough. I think you watched it and you saw, you saw it was somewhere between you and your mom, and it was just, it was difficult, but it was such a blessing, I think, that you did that show. And we are at Graceland. We're actually here. We're going to be getting ready. There's always amazing things happening at Graceland. There are always things that, you can come to Graceland not knowing that something else is happening, and see people you'd never see before, see movie stars, see musical stars, see, major people just coming into Graceland. And what y'all might know at this point is that we are going to be doing live on NBC an amazing Christmas spectacular. Incredible artists. And obviously the most important person on that show will be Lesley. And we're here, sussing out what we're going to be doing. And
I think there will be other people are excited about too.
Others, yes. There will be other people that people will be at some level excited about. I do agree with that. But getting back to Lesley, so we're really, and it's just really a wonderful thing because, Lesley, as y'all know, is just so incredibly talented as, it would be hard for a Presley not to be. But here's the real secret that nobody knows. Not only is Lesley super talented, a little bit difficult like her mom, but she actually is pretty normal, which for a Presley is like, it's like a blue moon. It happens once every 12 generations. So because of that, she is not only, you may know her as an actress, you may know her as a singer, but she is an amazing producer, an amazing director. Just anything and everything you'd always want to know or always want to see in somebody who's just, not even a triple threat, a quintuple threat, a quadruple threat, a sextet threat. It's just really amazing because working with her, and when she and her producing partner, Gina, who is in the building but does not want to speak, came aboard on the NBC special, it made everything better and obviously a little bit more difficult because they are two strong women with two strong opinions. And personally, I love that. So Rye, how has your experience been so far in really help guide this special come to life?
It's been it's my first time really working on anything to do with Graceland. We've always come throughout my life for different things, for candlelight, for, all kinds of events, but I have never really been this involved in any event at Graceland. So it's been really nice to be included, honestly, I think, because at the end of the day, it is like it's our family home. And I think that to have our family's input in what's happening there is really important,
And, you have a grandmother who loves to be the master of ceremonies. She loves to be in the limelight. She loves to be very welcoming. And you had a mother who was exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
Absolutely would shrink. She would, strong woman, give you her opinion, but if you asked her, if you put a camera in front of her and a microphone, she'd look the other way.
Yeah, I think that it's, everybody's different. She wasn't somebody who liked attention, didn't like, being in the public eye, which is this very, crazy situation that she was born in. For somebody who doesn't like attention, like it was really difficult for her, but she loved coming to Graceland. She loved the fans, and she loved being with, especially like the sort of original generation of Elvis fans. I think she found a lot of great comfort in being around that and coming here and being a part of things at Graceland. And yeah, my grandmother obviously for so many years was, dedicated her whole life to Elvis's legacy, and she loved doing it. So I think for me, it's I don't really know where I exist on that spectrum. I love, being involved because it's my family and I care about them. So I will see how that works, in the future. But for now, it's been a nice experience.
If you ask my opinion, I'd say, like your mom, you really reject and really want to run away from anything that's not authentic.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel it, you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
There's not enough money on the planet, maybe, to get you to do something, to get you to, be behind something that you really didn't believe in. And I think that's what people really loved about Lisa. And listen, coming to Graceland, it's when you see Graceland, it is, it was Elvis's home. It was Lisa's home. It is Riley and her sisters, Harper and Finley's home. So when you come, you show it the respect, but also it's kind of, it's kind of awe-inspiring. It's kind of, like, this is my home, and 20 million people have come to visit.
Yeah.
And that's like, without having the best Halloween candy, that's a pretty good thing. So what are your fondest memories of Graceland?
I think growing up and having family like dinners and stuff in the house, having Southern food in the dining room. We typically, when we would come, it was not, obviously the tours were not happening. It would have been later, and so we had a lot of dinners, and the house felt very full of family and cousins running around, and did not feel like a museum, So I think those were mostly my memories as a child. It did have that like family home feeling for us.
I think some of the people who've come to Graceland from the beginning, their only interactions with family was Aunt Delta. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, depending upon what time of the day you came, wasn't the most wonderful Well, it was comical and amazing, and she swore like a drunken sailor. Do you have memories at all of Aunt Delta?
I do. I remember, because my mom would always make us go say hi to her, and I remember I always felt a little bit scared to approach her room. And I just remember her sitting in the bed, and we'd walk through the kitchen, and my mom would just be like, okay, go say hi to Aunt Delta. And I just remember apprehensively walking over to the door, and she just had that sort of Southern, tone about her, and she was a character.
Did she say nice things in those Southern tones, or something else?
It's like that Southern way of sharing your love that can be a bit, it's like, get over here, but it's like, just that Southern kind of love.
Hopefully it wasn't the Southern way of saying bless your heart.
Yeah, I think the terms of endearment in my family have kind of definitely come from Memphis and made their way down through all the generations of our family.
Do you have any Southern in your speaking when you're with other Southern people?
No, but like when I land and when I'm in the South, the accent makes me feel like I'm with family. Okay. So like I have that association with, like, especially Memphis, a Tennessee accent. Like I do, like, it feels like the way that, like bless your heart, like those phrases really feel like I'm with family, you know what I mean? But I don't have the accent, but I think there's like phrases that I probably say that came from my mom that are Southern,
Yeah, when
Yeah.
your mom was upset with me, she sometimes said, "Bless your heart." So,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
knew I knew how she was feeling, so that was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to have those dinners again? Do you want to have those family meals here?
I would love to. I was thinking about that last night. We were in the house, and it feels like it's a museum, obviously, but my relationship with the house, has always been different, and we hadn't done that in many years, and that was kind of my favorite thing, and I would love to be able to do that again. To have that relationship with the house and to fill it with like family, and have that energy in it as well.
But now you're going to be at the head of the table. You are the matriarch of this family, in a sense.
Well, there are three of us,
Yes.
two little
Well,
ones.
but you know what? You're much older than they, so at some point they may try to usurp you.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not bloody. But until that
Oh my
happens.
gosh.
And when you talk about comfort, what are your your Southern comfort foods?
Oh my gosh, hush puppies, catfish, fried catfish, banana pudding. Those are probably my top three.
Do you have any favorite places? I know I can tell you, and I'm not getting paid for this, and wink, wink, but Memphis has, in my mind, the best barbecue in the country, but Corky's is just a little level above. Please rendezvous when next time I come. Please give me a good seat. But I just love Corky's.
You know what? I don't know if they still have it here, but the banana pudding I had here,
Oh,
is that from Gladys's Diner?
Yes.
I was surprised by
Yes.
how good that was.
Listen, the food at the hotel, the food here is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It really is top. We have an amazing executive chef at the hotel. I've had so many accolades. I actually got married at Graceland in June. And I can't tell you how many people, and the cake that we had people are still talking about the cake, asking how they can order the cake,
What
get
was
the
the
cake.
cake?
It was like a chocolate and vanilla pudding cake. And it was just
Was it locally made?
locally made.
Oh my God.
And it was the best thing in the world, and we had great music. So, you say this is the first project you're working on at Graceland, but it won't be the last.
Yeah, I hope not. That would be a shame.
And to me, as long as you can fit it in your unbelievably busy schedule, hopefully that you will be a large part of. And really just, it's the Presley heartbeat. It beats a little bit differently. What do you have that you're either working on or worked on that's coming out now? Everyone needs to promote something when they come on the radio. So give me your best shot.
Well, we just had our Gina, my partner, and I's first feature film, War Pony, come out, which I believe you can get on like Apple or Amazon.
Now, I
Yeah,
may be
that's
wrong.
kind of-
I may be wrong, but when I was at the Cannes Film Festival last year,
We did win.
you did win.
We did. Yeah.
So I remember, we all went there for the wonderful Baz Luhrmann movie. But when I said which Presleys were the winners, it ended up being you.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know how
The little
anybody.
engine that could, is that this?
I don't know how anybody couldn't love this movie. And it really is. It's a wonderful, authentic. When you talk about Lisa, and Riley is the same exact way. It's the authenticity, what they bring to their projects. The arguments we had, I had different kind of arguments sometimes with Lisa, but like the great conversations we have are about authenticity. And what I'm going to do, if you rent this movie on Amazon or wherever else it is, and you take a screenshot and you send it to that email at Graceland, and Argo's going to help me with that in a minute, I will pick one winner who we will put up in a suite at Graceland and give them a one person or two people or four people, however many you want to bring in your party, private tour of Graceland that will include Jerry Schilling's bedroom, which to my knowledge, no fan has ever seen before.
Wow, Joel.
So we're going to put a date to it. So if it's available now, y'all have to see this and send it to us before Christmas. I will endeavor to pick a winner by December 22nd or 23rd, and this will be an amazing Christmas present that you can't buy yourself or your husband or your wife or your partner or your kids or your parents. And all you have to do is watch it and take a screenshot on your phone, on whatever it is, to show that you actually paid for it. And we will pick one winner at random. And you will have the Graceland trip of a lifetime.
Wow, how cool.
Graceland.com/Inside Graceland.
and then there's an email link, and that's all you have to do. And if you want to give me a 50-word review, you don't have to, but we, we want to know that you actually watched the movie, loved the movie, enjoyed the movie, and we want to see if we can get this maybe up the charts. You never know. This is really something that's incredible to watch. It is a Cannes Film Festival Award winner. So I was remiss beyond saying a Golden Globe winner, an Emmy nominee, and I'm actually, so the part that I'm doing with people is going to actually be twofold. So I am going to say that if she does not win the Emmy, I'm going to eat my foot. Now, if anyone remembers where the first person who sends us an email to that same email and tells us what that reference is about, we'll send a gift from Graceland.
Graceland.com/inside Graceland.
I love all these
It
deals.
will not be the same kind of thing that seeing the movie is, but you know what? We're going to give you something special as well. Listen, Graceland is all about family, which is the Presleys. It's all about community. I remember, in the beginning when I was here, that Lisa used to like to actually stay in the house, which scared everybody who worked at Graceland. It is a wood frame house. I don't think I'm giving too much away, but if you're in Elvis's bedroom and you look up, there is a television, just like if you actually stay in one of the Elvis suites at the hotel. But the difference is, at the hotel, it's probably a 9-pound LED television, and in the house, it's a 250-pound.
I never thought. I have to say, I've been in that bed, and I never thought about that.
250-pound console TV that is only being held up by two 2x4s.
Wow.
I would never get under that thing no matter what you paid me.
Oh my gosh.
But it apparently didn't bother Elvis, and it also apparently didn't bother Lisa. And I was just so thrilled when we built the hotel. The Presley seal of approval was Lisa saying, I don't need to stay in the house anymore, and actually staying at the hotel, and that made me feel so good. And hopefully you and your family feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
Riley, as I think your husband told people before, no one had known before that, has this most amazing and precocious child, a bit of a savant. I actually had to ask how old Tupelo was, because as she was talking in semi-complete sentences before at the age of 14 months, I believe.
15, I think. Yeah.
And what was so amazing is she was running through the home last night. And I thought to myself, she's running around the home like she owns it. And I go, I guess she does. So even
she knew it.
Even at 14 or 15 months, I think she kind of understood that this was hers, and hers to play with, and hers to go around. I'm not exactly sure how childproof it is, but I didn't see any scratches, any damage, so no harm, no foul. So it's really about, what we keep on talking about with Elvis, it's really about Graceland. It's coming home to the mothership. It's coming home to, Elvis, he went to Hawaii, he stayed in California, but he always came back to Memphis. And I think some people, until you actually come here, you really don't understand why. But when you come here, you get it. When you come into the house, you feel it. When you come on the property, when you see the thousands of people every day, and even if you're coming alone or, you don't have too many friends who are Elvis fans, this is all about community. This is all about Graceland's family. So we have a lot of circles. We have the Presleys, and that's the core family. We then have a group around them that were the people like Jerry Schilling, who really stayed with Elvis the whole entire time, not only throughout life, was just really authentic and cared for Elvis, and he cares for Elvis as much today as he did when he wouldn't accept things from Elvis. And then you have just different senses of community, people who have been at birthday and done candlelighting since the inception, and then new fans, and then people who just picked up Elvis with the new movie, with the absolutely amazing, Austin Butler Elvis movie. So this is really about family. You need to come to Memphis, and Memphis, often. If you haven't been to Graceland in 10 years, you have not been to Graceland. It is entirely different now. There's so many more things to do. And I'm probably not supposed to say this, if you're able to come to Memphis on November 29th, you may see some really cool and amazing things. And even if you can't, please make sure NBC, it's right after the Rockefeller Center Christmas performance, you're going to see amazing acts performing all over the grounds at Graceland. This isn't something where we set up a little stage and 5 or 6 people got on. You're going to see angles and things that you've never seen before at times that you've seen before. So Riley, as we're, about to wrap up this segment, is there anything you'd like to share with all of these amazing Elvis fans all over the world?
I think just I'm really happy to be here, and every time we come here, it's so special. And I think being here with the NBC special has been really uplifting and beautiful, and everybody's so caring, and all of the artists who have been so gracious and wonderful and giving, and I'm I think it's just really keeping that sense of family even when producing a big Christmas special, and so that's been really lovely, and so I hope everybody watches.
So that is the nice, wonderful Riley version of things, filled with empathy, filled with positivity. But to get there, to get this special to where it is now, we had to get a little bit of the other side of Riley, of Over My Dead Body, or I Don't Think So, or We Can Do Better. I think the biggest battle cry that I heard is We Can Do Better, and then here's the important thing, because anyone can say we can do better. Here's how we can do better. Because anyone can say we can do better, and I don't know how. But the talent, the real finesse in it is here's how we're going to do better. And I truly believe this. It didn't seem like this was your first project of this type, and I know it's not going to be your last. But congratulations on making this better. And I think when people see this, often you see television specials and artists phone it in, and it just doesn't look like much. I can tell you, when you see this, you're going to see the Presley stamp. When you saw the 68 special for the first time, even if it was 68, 78, 88, 98, you saw it last year, there was something where that was a television special, but that was better than movies at the time. That was the performance, the thought. Even after, when Bobby Kennedy died during, while they were filming it, and they came back and they just wrote a song that was really a protest song that was really dangerous at the time. But that's what your grandfather felt he had to do. That was his authenticity. And I think that Elvis fans are truly blessed for the next 60 or 70 years to be able to have and then as they get into older, your sister's authenticity. So I thank you very much for taking the time, and we really do appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you allowing us to, keep the Presley stamp, as you're calling it, on all the things that are done here. And, I think sort of what you're speaking to is having the sense of in knowing what, my mother would want, what, my grandmother would want, what my grandfather would have wanted, and just staying true to what that is as far as Graceland goes, I think.
What would Elvis want? That's what I often think about. When someone comes to you, and someone can come to you with a pot of gold sometimes, and it's just something that just doesn't feel right. And you just say to yourself, what would Elvis do?
It's a good motto.